ever tried to make an actual video that's not a TikTok for other high school students. This is the most intimidating and stressful thing I have ever done. I thought making a teaching video would be hard, but this is like actual next level difficult. Okay, so let's just get into it. I'll rip the Band-Aid off. Hi, I'm Allison Solar, and I teach in a rural school in Western New York. And I am here today to just kind of introduce you to my channel and give you a heads up about what we're here for. I really think that there is a need for an English teacher to come onto YouTube and just give you guys some general like tips and tricks, and in a very non-threatening way. I'm probably one of the biggest goobers you're ever going to meet, especially when I'm in front of my classroom. By the time some of you get to high school, you already have these ideas of, oh, I'm not good at English, I'm not good at writing, I'm not good at reading. And I have to like break all those down and be like, no, it's okay. Okay. I'm just not even going to go there. So I need to be a goober and a goofball in order for you to feel like you can take a safe academic risk. And I'm hoping that that's the goal of, or the outcome of these videos, is that you find a teacher who can break things down for you in a very simple way and maybe give you some of the missing pieces that you didn't have before. So some things that I want to do on this channel for you all is I have like a separate teacher one, which you can watch if you want to, but you don't have to. But for the student side, I want to just kind of give you like writing tips, reading tips, grammar, vocab, and just kind of help you get through these high school years of English, because it's not, as a teacher, it's really hard because some of you just are really afraid to fail, so you'd rather give me nothing than fail. I know that's the same for a lot of teachers, and that's how I am in my life too. If I feel I'm going to be bad at it, why would I do it? But this is something that you do have to get better at, and I know that it doesn't always seem like what we're teaching you is that helpful, but it really is. I cannot tell you how many cover letters I've helped my friends write, resumes. I mean, it's just, you have to know how to do these things on your own. You just do. And so yeah, I know that you don't like need Romeo and Juliet in your lives. I get that, but it is nice to have, and it helps work out your brain, and sometimes it can just be really fun. Sometimes you find a character that you really relate to, or you're watching a movie or a TV show and you're like, oh my gosh, like that's the same thing as this other book we read, which doesn't help you with anything, but it is fun, I guess. So actually there was a song that was just released by Kelsey Ballerini called The Other Girl. And it is a reference to the Scarlet Letter. And I heard it, and every time there's a reference in the song, I was like, oh my gosh. And I was dorking out, and it's fine. It's okay to be a nerd about this stuff, guys. Okay, so I'm going to do some like book review videos. If you're someone who really likes to read and you want to hear some recommendations or thoughts on books, I'm going to do those. Some of them will be roasts, because I can already think of one book that I absolutely did not like, Divergent. So maybe I'll review that one for you all. I don't know. I just read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, and that was okay for me. 3 out of 5. Wasn't like, I mean, the bar is really high because I recently read Just Mercy. That book. So that's where the bar was. I feel like every other book from here on is just going to be like a letdown. So, book reviews. I'm going to do some writing workshop kinds of things and walking you through how to write a good paragraph, how to write a good essay, how to write a good thesis statement. These are all big things. And then on the reading side, I really think that what some of you need is, because I'll tell kids, oh, read this poem or read this chapter, what sticks out to you? And kids, sometimes you guys don't know what I'm looking for. And so if by like maybe me going through a couple chapters of Scarlet Letter or Catcher in the Rye or Romeo and Juliet, going through some of those classic common things that you were all reading and walking you through like what is going on in my brain, maybe it'll help you guys kind of see what your teachers are kind of looking for. And that's not an excuse to get you out of doing your homework. Oh, you're just going to watch Mrs. Solar's video and copy down what she said. No, it's to help you practice all of these skills. So I'll never do like a full book. I'm not going to sit here and do the whole Scarlet Letter because 1, I'm not going to cheat for you. 2, the Scarlet Letter can kind of drag. The beginning is great, the ending is great in the middle, though. But Scarlet Letter's for another day. I'm really hung up on that one for right now, and I'm not really sure why. Am I teaching it next year? Yes, I am. Anyways, so for today though, I don't want to just give you an intro to this channel because who's going to watch that? So here are a couple of things that students do or don't do that your English teachers are hoping that you will or will not do. Number one, don't plagiarize your work, please. That's all I'm going to say about it. Write your own stuff. We know when you're plagiarizing. You will give yourself away, you'll do something stupid, and we will know. You're lucky if you get halfway through the essay without us realizing it. So please just don't do it. Number two, one of the biggest things I see when students write is that they feel like there's this pressure for students to sound smart. And when you try too hard to sound intelligent, it makes your writing so much worse. I would much rather have kids write like they talk than write something that they think sounds smart, because I cannot make sense of what they're trying to say. For especially like a first draft, write down exactly what you're thinking, and then you can go back and make it flowery later on. And also don't just like keep saying the same things over and over in different sentences. I'm going to go through and cross it out. So if you're my student, there'll be lines all over your paper. So yeah, just write how you talk, and that's totally okay. For the most part, we got a new superintendent in our district, and he sent out a survey kind of asking us about what our thoughts were on the district and everything. And I wrote back, and I thought it was anonymous, and it was. But he came up to my room the next day and was like, "Hey, I really liked your responses." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, you sent that email, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I had said things that like weren't bad, but you know, I wasn't like, everything is great. But yeah, I had brought up some concerns, and there were things I would have said to his face anyway, so it's not like a big deal. But he was like, "No, I knew it was you off the bat. Like, your writing tone is exactly how you talk, and that's fine." I mean, I don't say like when I write all the time. There have been times that I do. If I'm having like an informal conversation, like we're in coronavirus right now, so if I'm sending an email with a kid or we're doing Remind or something, I might sound more informal, because sounding stuffy doesn't really help build communication and community over these weird times. So, I mean, I'll change how I write for my audience. But yeah, he knew. He knew. And it was fine. I had really great answers. So, anyways. Number three. Don't submit a blank draft to a teacher when they give you a writing assignment. If you don't do it because you didn't know, that doesn't help us. You have to do your absolute best and just write down anything you've got. We can help you fill in the gaps, but if you turn in just a blank sheet of paper, it does not help you, and it certainly doesn't help me. I mean, it helps me on grading time. I won't have as much to grade, but it just frustrates me, and then I get mad. Mad's the wrong word. I just get, like, I want to help you. If you don't turn anything in, can't help. So, yeah, I mean, if you're stuck on something, like, write where you got stuck. Like, if you only have one piece of evidence for one side of an argument, write, you know, I wanted to say blah, 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 but I couldn't find anything for it. And then your teacher can maybe help you find something. But if you aren't leaving us those kinds of clues in your writing and you're just turning in blank stuff, that's going to go away for you. Number 4, when you write something, please make it presentable. I know in the second tip I said don't try to sound really intelligent and over the top, but I mean, capitalize I, put some periods, indent your paragraphs, try your best with your and there and there and it's and it's. Those are the things, especially in high school, like you should really be trying to be conscious of your writing and writing in a way that's appropriate. You don't have to sound super smart, but you should be writing in an appropriate way for your grade level. And it's just kind of tedious when I have to go through and like correct every time you didn't capitalize I. That's something that you can definitely do. I'm fine with helping you fix commas and stuff, but at least capitalize your I's. And names. Names should always be capitalized, especially your own. And also, on that note, learn how to spell your teacher's names. It will go a long way. The last thing is, if you want to get better at reading, you need to read. You just have to. And you can read whatever you want. You really can. I mean, not every book is for me. I'm trying to think of one that I really didn't like. Oh, The Marrow Thieves. It had all these awards and stuff, but it wasn't for me. And it's okay. I didn't finish that one. That's fine. An English teacher is telling you you don't have to finish every book, but you should find things that you like to read. What was one? I read Scythe recently, and that book is amazing. It's so good. And I'm not usually a fan of dystopia, but it sounded really good, so I read that one. But I definitely have the books I like to read for fun, and books that I'm like, that's not for me, but it might be for you. So in your free time, don't feel like you have to read Ethan Frome, which is one of my least favorite books of all time, let me tell you. So frustrating. Just like you wouldn't watch a show that's a genre that you don't like. Don't read a book from a genre you don't like. That's okay. I don't know why sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't like reading. No, you're just not reading what's right for you. Sometimes that's nonfiction too. One time I read a book about the Sistine Chapel. It was incredible. Very scandalous too. So if you're into scandals, the Sistine Chapel is full of them. Definitely check that out. But yeah, it was a whole textbook. Why? I don't know. I was bored at work. I wasn't teaching. But yeah, it was enlightening. Find something you like to read. Anyways, those are just a couple of things to help you get through English class. I'm not sure what I'm going to put out first or next or have priority on, but I hope that you come back, and I hope that I can maybe help you out in your classes and that you learn something from me. I don't know. All right, bye.